I'm hoping I can do live up here today. What is going on? I don't know. Nobody's gonna show up. I guess I might as well. Well, to, okay. Let me put my little hidey ho here. And stop. That will probably fall off. I put that there so I'm not self conscious about whether there are actually how many people are watching. Um, as some of you may know, I recently traveled to Michigan for a celebration of life, mainly, was the main event. Um, but as it turned out, pretty much every day was an event. Um, First, I don't know. Hi, Linaire. Please let me know if I get choppy or something too horrible to watch. And then, anyway, um, I first I'm going to apologize that I keep wearing these. My microphone just isn't reliable anymore, and so that's a bummer. Um, I'm sick. Since I got home, well, like I said, the 7th was spent at airports and on airplanes, and I arrived at my destination. Every day up to the 17th was events, gathering of people I don't know or barely have met. It was to be a positive thing. Um, but every day was one of those events that those of us with social anxiety, bipolar disorder, any sort of mental health disorder, struggle with. Not because we don't want to do them, we just have issues around those things. And that's what I'm going to talk about. But first, I'm going to complain about something. Well, towards the end of my stay, tensions kind of got a little high. Um, I'm not going to get too far into it, but like on the celebration of life night, there was music, blues music. Um, my bio dad, he plays the harmonica very well. I was very impressed. Um, and all were having fun, but unbeknownst to me, his buddies, like from before, were like saying, here's a drink to Shane, who is my sister that passed away. And nobody likes to say passed away because she was killed by a drunk driver who is up for second-degree murder. Anyway, he said, well, I couldn't say no. And so he had a little too much to drink. And his wife was not happy with that. And he was hungover the next day. And I was kind of like, well, there's your reward. I mean, there's your comeuppance. And he's going to live this following day feeling really bad and physically, and then realize, well, that wasn't such a great idea. But she had issues and they argued a few times. So I felt towards the end there pretty uncomfortable. And then there were family members that when they had me alone, like I didn't grow up with these people. I've only known them for like 5 years and I barely know them, except for the core group, bio dad, stepmom, sister, um, talking smack about the other person, trying to get me into their camp. And I just don't go, that's just not how I um, do people. I think I said this already. I don't listen to what people say about other people. I form my own opinions by what I observe and hear and experience. So that disturbed me because these people are related and they shouldn't, yeah, they disagree on politics and stuff, but they're just, I mean, I'd rather people argue out in the open about their opinions than pull someone away and talk smack about them and try to get you involved in it. I'm like, I am not a part of this. I'm leaving on the 17th. Um, so the 17th, I spent all day in airports and barely on the plane, but mostly in airports. I am fully vaccinated. While I was at all these events with family, I did not wear a mask, but I felt very uncomfortable. Not very uncomfortable, but conscious of it. But I don't think that's what my problem is, but I definitely, something happened between me leaving there, something incubated, because I got home and I had slept perfectly the entire time I was there. And I got home and my body and my mind completely fell apart. And I'm guessing this is maybe because I was holding in tension for so long that when I got home, my body just freaked out. It just like like, we're not gonna function. I haven't slept since I got back. Um, my gastrointestinal system is like off the charts. So I got dehydrated and I started seeing double. I had to drink this god awful stuff that's supposed to like super rehydrate you. It was disgusting. And I'm not wearing my glasses because it makes the double vision worse. It's mostly stuff that's at a distance. It's very bizarre, but um and the air up in Michigan, they kept saying it was hot. And I'm going, "Are you guys kidding? This is awesome." I was outside as much as possible. It was so nice. And then I got here, it's muggy, there is no movement in the air unless it's, tornado is coming. And so allergies kick in. So I'm starving, but I can't eat. I'm exhausted, but I can't sleep. And because I haven't slept, my mind is racing. Everything is, I think it's orderly, and then I take a second look and it's just chaos. And I'm too exhausted to do anything about it. I thought I had straightened it up, but I mean, weird stuff. I was like filming weird stuff with my camera, and um, I don't know who I planned on showing it to, but I was narrating. And then I have a stack of books about this high at my bedside. Like, I'm gonna read them all. And um, I just not right. I guess I'm 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 not manic. I could get there. I'm hypomanic for sure. Um, because like I can tell that when I'm talking just normal stuff or I laugh at something I see, it's too loud. And I'm commenting too much. I'm saying too much. And um, very distracted from here to this. I have no sense of what comes next. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I'm just wondering, and um, I'm hot. I picked up a bug, I think. I don't know. Okay, so right there, I am telling you about what can happen with someone with issues like us, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, any kind of anxiety disorder. And I did a little um I even did research before I left, and I know I mentioned this in one of my videos. Um to try to make it um so I was less confused about what I was expected to do as a guest. Um, do people, I mean, as you grew up, were you taught how to behave as a guest? Apparently, I forgot, or no one ever taught me, or I never knew, or I just never got it because I had to look it up before I left because I felt so uncomfortable. In the past, I wanted things to be easier for them. And I kind of know what it feels like now because I made a meal for them, and I know that I really don't think my stepmom, sorry, my stepmother liked it because her body language, she was really tight and she was sitting in her chair and she was like, it's like she was afraid to touch it. I mean, she finally ate it, but I don't think she liked it. I made French dip, au jus. They'd never heard of it. Like, that's all I make. Sandwiches you dip. That's like in breakfast food. That's all I can cook. And my bio dad liked it. um, but she was very, I don't know if she was uncomfortable in the role of somebody making food for her but I thought it would be a really nice gesture since she would be entertaining the whole time I was there. Anyway, um, so these are my tips. If you are going to be even just like going to lunch to somebody's house or out to eat or staying for a visit, if you're like me, you need to know this because it doesn't come naturally. Ask them, like, it took me a while to figure out to ask people, do you recycle? I'd have a bottle or a can and I'd wander around not knowing what to do with it and just let it sit there because I didn't know what to do with it. Because if you ask, do you recycle? They're going to say, yeah, it's in the garage, and you can go ahead and put it in the garage. Um, Even though they'll say no sometimes, ask if you can help with the dishes. That's always a nice one. Or help anything. Is just ask if you don't know. Just ask, is there anything I can help with? I got that from YouTube. um, watch videos. Watch videos on YouTube on how to be. Watch the variety of them because some of them are stupid. Um, but there's a whole bunch of house guest and dinner guest videos out there. Um, if you find yourself amongst people and you're getting like they have negative vibes, um, not with you, but with each other, like you can tell somebody doesn't like that somebody's having a beer, but they're not going to say anything, but you can read their body language, you're leaving. You're not staying with these people. So just let it ride, blow it off. Um, if it's super uncomfortable, now like the arguing, I removed myself from that space. I went outside. I I have nothing to do with their marriage and what they approve of and don't approve of, um, and why, their history, or even if you do know their history, remove yourself. Do not subject yourself to other people's issues. Um, don't take part in the arguments. Don't take sides. Go somewhere else. Go for a walk. Play with their cat. I mean, just like anything. Um, yeah, see, now I can't read. um, Find the right people to talk to and sort of attach yourself to them. And that's pretty much what I had done in the past. Shane was my go to person when I would go out there, and Shane was around. She was who, excuse me, she was who kind of, I didn't like follow around like a crazy person. I don't know, maybe I did, but I just made it so, I'd just pull up a chair and sit down and listen to the conversation on my head. And she was the kind of person, there are people out there that are easy to talk to, and they talk easily to you as someone who is reluctant and hesitant and fearful and anxious. They can make you relax and talk about things and yourself and ask them questions. They're gems. They are oasis. Oh, in the desert. If you find these people, try to spend as much time around them as possible until the event is over. Without seeming creepy, but they don't those people won't even notice. You know what I mean? I have you met someone like that before? I have an aunt like that. She can sit down in a waiting room, start talking to the person next to her, and they'll talk right back, like, you know, and I'm like encased in ice, you know. Um, enjoy the scenery. I don't have a lot to say. When when I have something important to say, I will say it. But there's not a lot I feel the need to speak about. I'm more of a doer for people than a speaker to. You know, like, I don't say I love you a lot. I do to this family because they say it like all the time, and I feel obligated to say it back. And it's not that I don't love them, but I prefer to express myself through gestures by doing something for somebody. Um, which is why I made the little bookmarks. But anyway, you're supposed to go with a gift. I found that out on a YouTube video. Um, and that was my gift to a large number of people. I made a large number of bookmarks, handmade, so personalized. So enjoy the scenery is what I mean. So if you're not a person that's a big talker and you're starting to feel, this happens to me a lot. You're starting to feel awkward just standing there with people, not having said anything for a long time, or they're not acknowledging you at all, unlike those wonderful people that every once in a while pop up. Um, enjoy the scenery. Take a little tour of their backyard. Um, look around their house. Comment on, always comment on something. Well, that's cool. Where'd you get that? I've never thought of something like that. You know, I look at every picture on every wall, on every table, on every dresser. I look at the knickknacks. I am very visual, extremely visual. Places, I get emotions about places, so I take them in. If I find them something I want to remember later, warmth. So take in the scenery. If you're feeling awkward, not saying anything, nobody's talking to you, um, and if it's family and stuff, maybe they might not mind it. You go for a little stroll down the street. I have a fever. I know. I can feel it. This is awful. I got to get this done. Um, don't participate in arguments. I already said that. But you can show concern. Um, no facial expressions, but you can nod your head. Like you can say, that really frustrated you, huh? Yeah. It doesn't, you're not saying anything about what you think or feel, but you're acknowledging what they're saying. I will speak up when I really think think somebody, especially when they're talking about how I feel, like, somebody wondered why I invited a certain person, my sister, to I was supposed to have lunch with an aunt and a cousin who are Democrats, unlike the rest. And she thought it was just going to be us, but I invited my sister, whom I have only known for 5 years, and I was trying to explain why I invited her. Well, she was gonna come, and then she said she wasn't, and then I said, "Oh, I heard you weren't coming." And I did it because her lifelong sister has been killed, and I have noticed an increase in the number of texts that she has sent me and stuff. So, she's she needs it, and so I was trying to express this, and the aunt kept saying, "Oh, you asked her because you felt obligated," and I'm like, "No, no. I mean, I will speak up when someone is wrong about what my actions are. I invited her out of compassion. It's very different." Um, anyway, remember why you were there. All this drama going on. I'm here for the celebration of life of Shane. The whole time I was there, that was the reason I went there. Dima, my sister, needed me. I wanted to be there. Shane, I love Shane. She was my gem, my oasis when I went there. Um, I felt it right. And so anytime I started to feel like I should have stayed home, I remembered why I was there. Consider driving if you can, then taking the plane. I only had an hour difference, and because of this is weird, because of my ECT, I cannot do time zone math. And if I ask somebody, I can't remember it. That part of the brain is not functioning. And so I have to re look it up and look it up. And I have to look up specifically what time is it in now. So I believe they're an hour ahead, I think. Um, and that's all I did was an hour ahead. And it was enough to throw me a bit off. It would have been a long and arduous drive. Um, I don't know. But I kind of wonder if I might have been the better for it. And then I would have had my own car there and have the freedom to leave anytime I pleased. But um, consider drives can be very relaxing. Um, you know, and I think that a slower progression of the time zone, and I'm gonna make a regular video about stuff I looked up, information about things to do before you travel, like big time travel, like another country or across the country. Um, but just consider that. I did feel a little trapped, even though I wasn't going to hop in my car and leave, knowing your car's there and you can have act like, oh, I got to go out to my car to get something just to get away would have been nice. Um, don't shatter another person's rose tinted glasses. What I mean by this is while you're there, somebody is going to think that somebody else is the bee's knees, that they can do no wrong, that my service dog says it's time for us to go to bed. So, especially if it's like this tragic event that I was experiencing, that I was there for, it was not a time for me to say he's not all that. um, and uh, like, yeah, I did see some relationships where there was some rose tinted glasses, and it just wasn't my why. Why? It could only do harm. It could only hurt. Um, I mean, unless somebody's in danger, leave them be. Let them think that person's the most wonderful man, woman in the world. It's not your place. Butt out. um, they'll find out on their own in their own way. They probably already know. I don't know. Um, jet lag. Oh, make sure you allow for time to recover. I didn't do so, but I lucked out. All my dog training events that I had said I get back on the 17th and we can pick up from there. I will contact you when I get back. I contacted them, and fortunately, they all said, let's wait till next week, which was awesome because then I got deathly ill. um, and I really knew that I was going to need at least a week to recover because I have bipolar disorder and anxiety. But like I said, the CBD oil has really done really well for the anxiety. Um, let's see, and and when you go to big events, those of us with anxiety, psychosis, um, bipolar, and you go to a wedding, baby shower. Those are like my worst events ever. I hate those. Um, you go to Comic Con, even if it's a positive experience, you're going to need time to recover. Don't jump right back into work. Allow at least 24 hours from those big events, big stressful events. Some people might not understand. There are people who can get away with it, but I'm telling you, it's you to. All right, need your living space is tidy, and you put fresh sheets. That mistake. I came home. It was a disaster. It was awful. and I learned my lesson. My handler schedule as much as possible, where you okay, try to follow your home. I got up earlier. I know, honey, I know. Having social gathering every day for 10 days. Um, don't listen to anyone that encourages unhealthy behavior. Know what you do best on. Don't do it. Be firm, walk away, find somebody else, go home. Avoid toxic people. Possible. I'm losing focus on. My dog here is telling me it's time to go to bed. Um, okay. He needed a break. But if I had to miss doctor, ah, especially if you experience psychosis in any of your disorders, make sure you consult and you may end up with a medical schedule instead of 3 months after. So, okay. Um, it's good. And I'll say goodbye. My dog's having a heart attack. There it goes. Yeah. Okay. So, that's it. That's all my advice. That's all wrong. Bye. Oh, that's not working. Bye.